Hello and welcome back. I'm Val and I'm so excited for you to be here right now. I don't have the energy for a big reading, but I did want to do a couple of card pulls today and kind of talk about it. It's been a really interesting time, very low energy. It's taken a lot for me to do this right now. So yeah, I just want to get this message for anybody feeling like in a rut or in a kind of in between, or just kind of like in a lower energy, something that can hopefully lift your spirits up or kind of spark that fire back into you. Now, I don't know what the messages are going to come out as. Like, I don't know if this is just my intention that we get messages and support right now. The biggest thing is support. Yeah, so we'll see what comes out, okay? So this is a little bit different than how I usually do it. I'll be bringing up the cards on screen. Usually I do it beforehand, but I'll do it all now. And also I want to start with a deep breath, okay? Because I know you could be holding a lot of stuff in. I've been holding a lot in, so we'll take a deep breath. I'll do 1, 2, 3. On the 3, we'll go in, okay? 1, 2. Now, there are no bad messages. Like I said, this is just hopefully something that can kind of re-inspire, light the flame in us right now. Okay, so we're gonna start with my Wisdom of the Oracle and just see what messages are here for us today. Okay, oof. We've got 2. We've got the Fates and Community. I had a feeling with this Community card. I had a feeling about it. But I was thinking it would come from another deck, so that's interesting. We've got the Fates and Community. So, Divine Order. I was literally talking about this in the video I just filmed. Divine Order, Divine Timing, Fated Events. Hope, healing, community, connecting with your community and finding your community is going to be very helpful right now for you. Connecting with community. Maybe you're traveling and finding people, community. It almost feels like right now kind of celebrating yourself and almost being the star of your own show is what it feels like. Let's see. Get one more, please. I've got one that just fell. We'll just get one more. Okay. Radical self-love. This literally just came out in the last video. We can only receive love to the extent that we can unconditionally love and live the truth of ourselves. I think that's huge. I didn't really talk about it much in the last video, but I think that is huge. And then we have, Melting Mask. Allow your spirit self to shine through the many roles you fulfill. Yeah. So interesting. I think that this is a real big theme that's occurring right now, is portrayal, our self-portrayal, how we show up for other people, who we show up as, and how we show up for ourselves. Are there differences, and why? Are there people I feel like I need to put on for, and why? We can only receive love to the extent that we unconditionally love and live the truth of ourselves. Radical self-love has been such a big thing for me, and acceptance, and it's almost like understanding a little bit more of the reciprocal nature of love, and like giving to yourself to receive. The more you give, the more you put into yourself, the more you're able to receive from other people and from your surroundings. When you drain and you're depleted, it's kind of hard to accept, and it's kind of hard to be open to receive. And being receptive has been something that has been hard for me right now. Receptive in criticism, receptive in giving and gifts, receptive on all forms. Receiving on all forms has been very difficult for me lately. So this kind of plays into my journey and where I am right now, and understanding the unconditional love for self will only enhance what comes in. I feel like if you're seeing this, you may be on this feeling a little bit in a rut because there are parts of you that don't match up or align to who your spirit wants to be, or who you are transitioning into, and that's what makes it so uncomfortable, is trying to identify who you are and who you are not, especially when we carry a lot of these identities or masks since childhood. It's hard to get to a certain age or a certain point where you're like, ooh, that really wasn't me, was it? It's like, no, it actually wasn't. So finding out what that is, because we might think that something is truly us, but when you unpack it more, it's like, oh, that was just a developmental part of, back in the day, or these things don't really make sense with who I am now. I was getting something about needing to put your mask down so the rest of the people around you can put their masks down, and that's something that we hear a lot. I'm pretty sure I just read something about this a couple days ago, and it's when you allow yourself to be true, the people around you just kind of naturally allow themselves to show more authenticity, and feel more comfortable being open and true. But it starts with you, kind of thing. It starts with you. And I'm just getting that you might see things in your community. You might see other people and how they kind of have masks on, but it may be hard to see your own. That's kind of how it is for me at times. It's easy for me to see another person's inauthenticity, and I can see mine, but sometimes it's hard to dig deep and find out like where they are and how they differ from the person that your soul, your spirit truly wants to be. So just really quickly, I want to read this melting mask, just this little bit. A role becomes a mask when it distorts, constricts, or conceals rather than reflects a true expression of our spirit self. Wow. A mask typically arises out of the ego's desire to be real and in control, when in fact it is neither. The ego, like the body and emotions, are tools. Their function, when used appropriately and proportionally, is to give authentic form and expression to our spirit selves. That's a really big thing. That's really big. Drawing this card signifies the impending loss of a mask to an encounter, an event, or circumstance that incites its melting. A period of confusion, turmoil, or grief may follow this mask dissolution. Okay, so that's exactly, oh my gosh, this is exactly what's going on with me right now. Whoa. So I feel like this is exactly what's kind of occurring in my everyday life right now, and even feeling like that not aligning. I talked about this in the last video, but just feeling a little bit misplaced in my own circumstance, my own life, because of a lot of the things that I'm letting go of. If you're going through something like this, know that you're not alone. That's like the biggest thing, you're not alone. And just going back to this Fates card, understanding that there are things that we cannot change and circumstances that occur that we have no control over, and that we have to just let it be, right? We have to just kind of allow things to play out as they should, and ask for always our best and highest good to come out of it. That's literally all we can do sometimes, is to just allow things to occur in our life, and just be here for the ride. Just like be prepared, and just like kind of, okay, the train is leaving, I gotta hop on it. I don't know where it's going, but I just gotta get on it. And back to that radical self-love, I was just reading a little bit, and with the community here, it's kind of interesting because sometimes we do seek love outside of ourselves, and which it's not always a bad thing, right? I'm not gonna get into that too much, because I've got conflicting beliefs when it comes to that topic, but it does talk about we cannot solely seek outside of ourselves for love or feelings of self-worth, validation. We cannot solely receive that outside of ourselves. There will get to a point where you're like, I need this internal validation. I need this, my self-confidence, and I don't know where to get it because, you know, maybe the situation's different, the people aren't there that used to be there, you know, things have changed, and it's so important to seek inside of yourself. But also I'm feeling connecting with people who are sincere is what I'm getting. Sincere, genuine, and value the same things that you do. No, we don't have to all think the same. This is not that at all. We don't have to think the same. We don't have to all be at the same kind of intellectual level or spiritual level or whatever level. We don't, like, I don't need to be friends with people just like me, but I want to be acquainted and friends with people who are open, who are, you know, free, and who value some of the same things as me, who have an appreciation for life, music, art, people, human beings who care, people who care, you know, that's all I ask for, people who care. So seeing in ways that the community is really beneficial in this belonging, but also belonging and understanding that you belong to self, and that there's so much in here that you have access to, into uplifting yourself and validating yourself, even though that can be very difficult. And I'm very well aware, and I understand the difficulties in that. So no judgment from me, because hey, I'm there right now. So yeah, I hope this reading was able to help you understand a little bit of maybe what's occurring within you right now, and knowing that it'll be okay. It'll be okay. This is another part of the journey, life itself. Okay, thank you so much for being here. Follow me on Instagram at beyondquartz, and book with me at thebeyondquartz.com. I'm really itching to maybe do a free reading for somebody, and I don't know where I will advertise that, but yeah, I'm so grateful, and thank you for being here. I hope to see you next time. Okay, bye.